All right, hi, my name's Justin, and today I'm going to install the Mule, which is a universal rack for small and medium-sized SUVs from Baja Rack, and we're going to be putting it on this brand new Subaru Forester over here. The Mule comes with all of the hardware that you need to install it, which includes these 4 brackets that come in 3 parts. This is the top, the middle, and the bottom part of the bracket. You need to start by installing the top and the middle of the bracket onto the rack, and then you can move the rack onto the car before you put on the bottom part of the bracket for the final assembly. The Mule is made of welded carbon steel, and it undergoes a 3-part process. It begins with sandblasting, followed by an epoxy undercoat, and then a protective powder coating layer on the outside. Before installing the Mule onto your vehicle, you want to ensure that your crossbars are separated by 30 inches. It doesn't matter where you place them on the factory rails, you just want to ensure that there's 30 inches between the two. You also want to check the load rating on your crossbars, whether they're OEM or aftermarket. In this case, these are aftermarket crossbars. The OEM ones can often have a very low load rating. The Mule only weighs 39 pounds without the brackets, but it's nice to have someone give you a hand when you're installing it. The final part of the assembly is putting on the lower bracket of the 3-part bracket. We installed the first 2 earlier, the top and the middle. You take this bottom part of the bracket, you put it underneath your crossbar, you run a bolt through it, and there's a nut that goes on top that you screw down. And before tightening down the rack, you want to make sure that you've centered it on your crossbars, and you also want to make sure that when you're tightening down these nuts, you go back and forth evenly as you tighten them down. All of the racks from Baja Rack are MIG welded. Like I mentioned, the Mule weighs 39 pounds without the brackets. It has a 300-pound capacity with a dynamic load and a 600-pound capacity with a static load. But like I mentioned earlier, you want to check the rating of your OEM or aftermarket crossbars before you load this thing up. Baja Rack offers the widest range of mounting options for accessories on the market. You can mount everything from a high lift jack, an axe and shovel mount, traction boards, or fuel canisters onto the Mule as well as the Mega Mule. All of the steps that we showed you here today to install this Mule rack onto a Subaru Forester apply to the Mega Mule as well. The Mule is the first product from Baja Rack, and it might be the last rack that you ever have to buy. It's a highly versatile platform. Once you've installed the brackets, it's very easy to move this rack from one vehicle to another. It also allows you to keep your loved ones inside the vehicle and all of your belongings stored securely on the outside.